Requirement 11.3.1 pertains to performing internal vulnerability scans. Now, there's a number of things that we need to make sure are in place on this particular requirement. Those scans need to be done at least once every 3 months. And that means passing a quote-unquote clean scan at least once every 3 months. And specifically, all high-risk and critical vulnerabilities need to be resolved. And specifically, where do we get that definition, high-risk or critical risk vulnerabilities? That comes from the risk ranking system that you developed back in requirement 6.3.1. And we're going to just use that again here. And then also we need to perform rescans that confirm that any initially identified high risk or critical risk vulnerabilities have also been resolved. And again, keep in mind that the time period between passing scans cannot be longer than 90 days, not longer than 3 months. We also need to keep our scan tool up to date with all the latest vulnerabilities. So we will be checking to make sure that the auto update mechanisms are in place, or at least by the time that you run each scan, that the scanner itself has been updated. And then finally, we also need to make sure that the scans are performed by qualified personnel, and that those personnel have organizational independence between the systems being scanned and the actual scanning activities themselves. So let's pull into that organizational independence for just a minute here. The data security standard gives us a couple of examples of that. So the person who is responsible for managing the database server cannot also be the same person who is responsible for scanning the database server. Same thing, the network firewall person cannot be responsible for scanning the network firewall. So it is important that we establish that organizational independence, and that's basically independence between the person operating the scans and the person operating the system being scanned.